So, why is Excalibur my best Warframe? Well, it's pretty simple. He is the ultimate ninja in Warframe. You look at him, he's sleek, he's stylish, he's beautiful, but let's actually look at his abilities. I'm gonna say he's the ultimate ninja because his passive ability is Excalibur deals increased damage and attacks faster when wielding swords. He is made to wield swords. That is his purpose. He, no matter what, is using a sword. Guns, yeah, you can use them on Excalibur, but his kit is purely based around his ultimate Exalted Blade, or fourth skill. I don't know what people call it in this game anymore. So, I'm going to talk about his abilities first. Exalted Blade, summon a sword of pure light and immense power. You pretty much turn your sword into an energy sword. It drains, with my current mods on, 0.78 energy a second, without mods, 2.5. It blinds enemies, but that's not really useful. Blind range, yeah, 7.25 meters, cool. And the damage is also, looks pretty weak, but it's actually really good when you're actually using it. So, that is his main ability. Pretty much, you wield a sword, you attack, and it shoots blades from the sword into the enemy. Does actually really good damage for what it is. But that's not all his kit has. It also has Radial Javelin, which launches javelins towards enemies, dealing high damage and impaling them to walls. It's actually a decent ability. It's obviously not as good as Exalted Blade, which is his main attack, but it is good. The only issue is it costs a decent amount of energy base, but luckily the way you built, at least the way I build Excalibur, is increased efficiency and increased damage. And honestly, that's really good. Also increased range. I pretty much decreased duration, and that's about it. So Radial Javelin does damage, pins them to walls, hits 12 enemies max because it shoots out 12 javelins. Pretty good. His second ability, Radial Blind, it's literally a blind, and it lasts forever. It's pretty cheap, to be fair, compared to Radial Javelin, but you don't really need to use it too much unless you're getting attacked and kind of need to run away. And then finally, his last ability, Slash Dash, dashes between enemies while slashing with the Exalted Blade. Holy crap, so good. It's pretty much a quick attack that just jumps from enemy to enemy, just slashing them. Does the same technical damage as Exalted Blade, and it has a range of 17.4 meters when I increase it, or just 12 base. So let's go into the actual gameplay of Excalibur and talk about why he's my best Warframe. So this is the gameplay for Excalibur. As you can see, mainly I'm using his Exalted Blade and just auto-attacking. I am just hitting E a lot on my keyboard and shooting out the waves of his sword. This is, of course, his main damage, and with Berserk and all of the attack speed and crit that I have, if you actually have enough enemies, it just ramps up really fast and goes insanely quick and does a good amount of damage. But as you can also maybe see, he does take a decent amount of damage. He's not like the tankiest, and he doesn't have a lot of escapes from certain situations, except his blind. His blind is what you're going to want to use if you're getting low on health. While you have Exalted Blade on, if you slide an attack with your sword, it uses the blind, or if you use your second ability, it also uses the blind. Now, of course, it's easier to just slide around, hitting E a lot and blinding them with your sword while your ultimate's up, so I definitely recommend that, because you are going to use your ultimate the entire time, and you generally don't run out of energy because 25 energy drops from an enemy is about 40 seconds worth of his ultimate. So you only really have to get one of those every 40 seconds, which is incredibly easy to sustain. So you're pretty much going to have his energy sword up constantly, and I think that's really cool. I like the idea of a melee class that is also ranged, but is still based on melee. His energy sword might not be incredibly high damage-wise, but it is really good. Maybe like he's not perfect for end game content, because again, his energy sword doesn't do like 50,000 damage each hit or anything crazy like that. It just does a modest amount of damage, which is easily enough for enemies level 50. So really, I have no problems ever running this build on Excalibur, and that's why I mainly have him played 50% of the time. So even though I didn't use it that much in this video because honestly it's not a great ability, his third ability, Javelin Strike, it's not that great. It pretty much stuns enemies to that spot and does some damage to them. I will pretty much never use this ability, like ever. It is almost worthless. Same with his blind. I almost never use that because I can just use my energy sword. The only ability I sometimes use is his first one, which is, it pretty much quickly jumps to the target and slashes them and jumps to other targets. I can only ever really use that to deal some quick damage, or if I just want to escape a scenario and just run away really fast. So that's all that I really run and do with this character. Very good character, very good Warframe. I love it. There is a reason why it's my favorite and I always play it. It's really good for both starting players and experienced players, and honestly, I just love this class so much. I just can't get enough of him. He uses swords, and he's a ranged character somehow. Honestly, it's awesome. I love it. So that's it for this. Next part, I will just quickly show you the mods I have both on my Warframe and my weapon, because I feel like, yeah, you might want to know. It's a little helpful information. So I'll see you there. If you're wondering what mods I am running, this is my Excalibur mods. I haven't really formatted him much, so it's definitely an imperfect build. But for now, I have Steel Charge for increased melee damage, obviously good. Enemy Sense, it's just kind of a filler, I wouldn't really worry about that. Redirection for shield capacity, as he is pretty squishy. Continuity for duration, flow for energy max, streamline for efficiency, stretch for range, fleeting expertise for increased efficiency but decreased duration, intensify for more damage, and vitality for even more tankiness. Yeah, as you can see here, he's not the tankiest, but he's not the squishiest, so it works out well. I could throw on probably a lot of other things, so this is definitely an imperfect build. Like, even Rage, convert 40% of damage on health to energy. That would already be even better than, like, Enemy Sense. But sadly, I can't throw that there. Yeah, it's really imperfect right now, and I'm having to 100% fix this, but one day. Now, if we're looking at my weapon, it has Crimson Dervish as the stance. Pretty good, but it doesn't matter too much since I'm an energy sword anyways. Pressure point, more melee damage. Berserk, which is critical for this build, is increased attack speed for every critical hit. It does 3 times, which is 75 increased % attack speed. Really good. If you don't have Berserk, this build is a lot less efficient. You kind of need this. It's really good. So, of course, that means I have True Steel on for crit chance, Fury for even more attack speed, Organ Shatter for crit damage, because, yeah, I might have a 24% crit chance, but with the amount that I attack, I pretty much always have this maxed out, because it does last for 24 seconds. Buzzkill for more damage, Jagged Slash for more damage, and I'm going just hard on slash damage for him, since this weapon is more slash. Why would I put on Impact or Puncture? And I also have Shocking Touch just because I had an empty spot. Now, I haven't formatted this, and it's not... I don't want to say it's a perfect build quite yet, because there are a lot of other things that if I got the mods, I could probably make them a lot stronger. Like, Buzzkill is literally just a better version of Jagged Edge. That's literally all it is. But that being said, they both increase slash damage, so they're both pretty good. Of course, everything on here is just kind of, yeah, do what you will. If it's fun, it's fun. See, this, I might actually want to get True Punishment. Increase crit chance, but take away channeling efficiency. Since you never channel, it doesn't matter, and crit chance is always good. Really, there's a lot of other things I could add on here, but for now, imperfect.